Okay. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Can they hear you? That's the question.
Hello!
Don't spike the audio.
Okay, sorry.
Hello!
Hi.
This is A Murder of Crows. We're trying out this video thing
Yeah.
one more time. We don't know how great it'll be, but
I know nothing about this stuff, so...
I'm Karen,
I'm Kat.
and this is A Murder of Crows. Yeah, the setup is a little bit more janky than it usually is.
Mm-hmm.
You have a pleasurable view of my guitar, the Google Home right here, and our vacuum cleaner, along with my Christmas lights that I just never take down.
I put those up.
Yeah, she did. It was like
Everything's
4 years
backwards.
ago.
5? I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can't. Everything's backwards.
Yeah, and then the setup that's right there. That's my streaming setup. You can't usually see this, but hey, I guess I just don't care, and it's easier than working with a green screen
Yes.
until I figure that out. But besides that, how's everybody doing?
Good.
You doing good?
Yeah.
Doing swell? Anything to update people on from your life, from your week? Did you read Ellen's email?
No!
Oh, I guess then I
I
can...
missed out. I've been reading a lot of my own emails. Only because I have a lot of people to email nowadays.
Well, I will pull it
This
up.
frickin' thing.
Here you go.
Okay, Ellen. Live. No, it's not live. Okay. Hello, beautiful ladies, Connor and Beth.
I love how Cameron's not mentioned. Not bitter.
Well, he's not as
He doesn't like to be as
involved.
social, but...
I found a Texarkana murder that's unsolved. Oh, look at you!
Solving crimes.
I want it read in Connor's "You Yeed Your Last Haw" voice. So does that mean she wants Connor to read it?
Yeah, she does. So we'll have to see if
okay.
he can do that next time. Because
Your
he's not
episode-
here. This is my house.
Alright, your episodes still make my Saturdays exciting and funny. Well, you're welcome. Thank you for everything you're doing. I wish I had more fun things to send, but sadly my city has been pretty chill. That's a good thing, Ellen. That's actually a good thing. Just a drive-by shooting.
Just a
Apparently
drive-by
I should have
shooting.
read further before.
You
I
should
was
have
like,
kept going.
Oh my god. Which actually hasn't happened since I was a kid. Also, the spelling of Connor's name is going to change every time I write it. I was about to say, she said Connor 3 times and they were all... The first one was right. It's E-R. Definitely not N-O-R. That's gross. Don't ever do that again. Because I still don't know how he spells it. What was that noise that you just made?
It was like a weird throat squeak. It was
You
like...
had it right the first time. It's C-O-N-N-E-R. Not O-R and not N-O-R.
It's Connor.
Think of the French.
Connor. My fiance who calls Oyo.
Sorry. I've been weird since I got engaged.
Yeah, but we'll see if we can have him read that next
he'll
time.
have to.
Because he's not here currently.
Okay,
We
you
did
can-
have a long phone conversation of him talking at us about remembering the Alamo.
If you don't know what the Alamo is, hi, welcome to the club. Neither do I. Until today. No, that's a lie. I technically knew what the Alamo was because of his dad. And his dad actually cried when he told me the story.
What?
So...
Did he really?
He did.
Oh, man.
He got to the part where he was like, oh, we were holding it down, and he was like... I was like...
It's not that serious.
you good.
Why do I feel like his name is Bruce?
It's close, it's Brett.
Oh, my... Well,
Big,
Brett.
Big bald man. Big bald man.
All right.
And he looks, I call him the broken biker or something. I can't remember why.
Okay.
So I knew it was, and then today, I don't know how you even got on the top. You said something about the Alamo.
I started talking in a voice, and
Oh.
and I don't know if anybody else ever does this, but sometimes when I'm talking, my voice will change into different accents. Not on purpose. It just kind of happens. Timon's playing with something, if you hear that. And my voice, for some reason, it's never done this before. It started to do The Godfather.
Yeah.
And I was trying to remember the actor's name, and so I was looking at IMDb over here. And I was like, what's his name? Something.
But it was funny because I was in the bathroom, And she said something about you said something about who's the godfather at your wedding, or
I was like, who's the godfather at the something about on the day of my daughter's wedding?
oh, okay, and all I heard was who's the godfather at your wedding, and I was like turning around like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
well, but then we were trying to figure out if it was like Casino or Capino.
Al Pacino.
Pacino.
But we kept looking at her like, Cachino?
Cachipo.
Casino.
And then I was like, remember the Alamo.
And then
that's how that started. Anyway.
And then I told her that Connor would be mad, but I called him anyways, and he was mad.
He was mad.
He was like, oh my god damn it, Cat. And I was like, you're dramatic.
You're dramatic, but that's okay.
That's a different story.
Cool. Anyways, so, work's been good?
Work's been swell.
Work's been living the dream?
That's what white people say when they want to die.
That's what I say every day to my
That's
boss.
That's literally what I say all the time.
Or he'll go, hey Karen, how's it going?
Get down.
Ah! There goes
Hi.
Kat. He'll go, oh hey Karen, how's it going? And I say, it's going. And he's always like, you always say that. And I was like,
Stop asking me.
that's all I got. That was Nala, by the way, for those who have never seen her.
That's Nala.
That was
You
Nala.
did post a picture of her.
I did, but who've never seen her on video.
Mm-hmm.
But, with that being said, shall we?
We shall.
We shall. So, the screen's just getting really bright because if I have the ring light on all the way, it's like super bright. And now I can only see me, which is a little weird because she's like behind. Anyway, not important. So,
No longer exists.
So, if you feel like sending us an email, you can at amurderofcrowspodcast@gmail.com. Our Instagram, Twitter, and our Facebook page are all at AMOC Podcast, and our closed Facebook group is Our Murder of Crows, like yours, mine, and ours. And lastly, if you feel like being awesome and super cool and like, are you mocking me? Do you do this at home when you're not with me? Rude! Wow, okay.
Jar open, worms everywhere.
Foot in mouth. Take it. Anyway, if you feel like being cool and awesome and telling a cat to shut up, you can at our Patreon at patreon.com/amurderofcrowspodcast. Anything else you have to say, Catherine?
Bitch! Do not
Don't make me middle name you.
Tell the world, I don't care.
Do you really not?
I don't. I've come to terms.
Yeah, you care about Catherine.
I'm not sophisticated. I don't deserve that name.
Well,
Your name is just my name, Polish.
okay.
Okay, name stealer.
Name stealer? Who was first? Me.
Shut up. Your name rooted from mine.
Okay, whatever. You want to give us the bird topic and show pun?
Nope. Anyway. Oh, cute.
Thank you.
I like that. It's Friends for anyone who gives a shit. It's cute.
Thank you. I waited a month and a half for that phone case.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was from the Ukraine. Don't order phone cases from the Ukraine unless you expect to have them in 2 months.
Woo! Alright. Anyways, the topic today. No, sorry, the bird. Is it bird pun first? Yes. It's a couple of cowbirds. And no, it's not a bird that looks like a cow. It's not a bird. Do you even have a picture of a cowbird?
No. No, let's stop it. Alright, well, she's just going to go in the background.
I don't think they look like cows in terms of
No,
their
I
pattern.
think that the reason they're called cowbirds is because they follow cows.
They do?
I mean, that's what I read briefly.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, a cowbird is a bird that will, when needing to nest, it will steal a nest by throwing an egg out of a nest and then taking said nest. So I thought that was relatable to Bonnie and Clyde.
Works
'Cause
for
they
me.
kill and rob.
The best thing I had was Birdie and Clyde. So, listen, we do what we can here on this podcast, okay? We're not gonna accept any people, any bitches complaining.
Not accepting your bullshit.
Keep your bullshit to yourself, okay? All right, Cat's
Hi,
back in the picture now.
Hello.
Wow, that's big. Put it back to that. Okay.
Actually, that's not what she said.
Alrighty, so I go first this week, I think.
Can you even hear me?
I heard you say that's what she said. I'm just grazing on past that. We're not 12-year-old boys.
Michael
Dwight?
Scott is definitely not a 12-year-old boy.
I thought Dwight said that.
No, that is Michael Scott. I watched The Office, okay?
Okay.
Rude.
I wasn't the one mocking the other one.
You can't get Office stuff done, so apparently
You know what?
I deserve to.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to move you again.
Here we go. No? Okay.
Don't worry. We'll
Okay,
just
bye!
Make us small. It's fine. Otherwise, if I'm reading over here, it's because my second monitor is over here, but I'm going to move it over here. Whoa. Unnecessary. So, I'm going to read to you. I've got Bonnie. So, I'm going to talk to Bonnie.
I look like Momo when I do that.
Is that a dead meme?
What?
What?
A Momo?
Yeah, is that a dead meme?
A dead meme?
Yeah, because Momo was a meme for a while.
Was she?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I remember she...
Yeah, she was a meme, and then, like, someone took it as a prank to, like, kids' YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I kind of look like her when I do that.
A little bit. You shouldn't do that.
I'm coming for your kids.
Okay. So, you done, Momo?
I'm sorry. I've had a lot of caffeine today.
Want to talk about it?
No.
I have two. I had 2 yerba mates.
Oh, Jesus.
I shouldn't have done that.
Good luck. All right. She's going to crash.
I will. Anyways, so Bonnie, which, by the way, did you ever know Bonnie and Clyde's last names?
No.
I didn't either. At all.
Not even slightly.
It almost was like it's weird to find out they do have last names.
Right? They have separate identities?
Yeah.
Like they were people before
Yeah,
the
they're
other
not a
one showed
couple.
up?
They're individuals.
Yep. Would have never thought that.
Well, Bonnie's name was Bonnie Elizabeth Parker, and she was born on October...
That's way too fancy.
I know, Bonnie Elizabeth Parker.
Bonnie Elizabeth.
Bonnie Elizabeth.
Bonnie Elizabeth.
She was born on October 1st, 1910, which makes her a Libra. You know I could see you rolling your
I
eyes.
didn't know you could see me.
I'm only saying that because when I researched it, in one of them, they, like, made that point. And I was kind of like, okay. Anyway, and I can't say this name. This would be great if Connor was here. In Rowena.
Yeah.
Rowena, Texas.
Rowena.
To Emma.
Just pretend like you're not trying to say every letter when you're speaking.
Rona.
Rona. That's,
All right.
Honestly, that's probably right. Rona. Technically, it should be Rowena, but they probably say Rona.
Rona.
Rona, Texas.
Okay. That's the one accent I can't get. So she was born in Rona, Texas, to Emma and Charles Parker. We don't get middle names for them, so screw them. She had an older brother and a younger sister. When she was just 4 years old, her father passed away, and her mother moved the family to an impoverished suburb of Dallas known as Cement City to live with Bonnie's grandparents.
All right.
Yes. Bonnie attended the local schools there. I don't know. And was a bright student who showed keen interest in poetry and literature, earning honors in her studies. Which is interesting.
Yeah. She's smart.
Yeah. Of a decidedly diminutive stature and thought to be exceptionally pretty, she had dreams of becoming an actress, which I feel like everybody
does.
I mean, well, not just everybody does, but I feel like in, like, 1900s, everybody wanted to be an actress.
Everybody wanted to be Nancy. Who was the lady I did? Is her name Nancy?
What are you talking about?
The fucking lady I did.
When?
For Old Hollywood?
Yeah, but that wasn't this. Old Hollywood was way after that. Anyways. In her youth, there were no signs of the criminal path that she would follow. She was noted as being a very petite woman, being only 4'10" and weighing 85 pounds.
Good lord!
4'10" and 85 pounds.
We're 5'1".
On a good day. And so I literally put, holla to our short comrades.
Seriously, she's actually considered, and nowadays she'd be considered I hate that word.
A small person.
A small person, yeah.
Yes. My mom always used to say that.
She was 4'11".
She was 4'11" and 3/4. Oh, shit. And I think it's like if you're under 5 foot, you're considered.
No, it's under 4'11".
I thought it was 5.
No, it's under 4'11".
Oh, well, anyway. Maybe that's why my mom always added the 3/4 so that people wouldn't tell her that. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Anyway, so she was very, very petite.
To say the least.
Yeah.
How tall is Amanda?
I don't know.
Is she like 4'10"?
I think maybe she's 4'10".
Oh. I'm pretty sure Amanda, the other Amanda, because I'm not going to drop last names, I think she's like 4'11" too.
Really? Huh. I haven't seen her in a while.
She's good. Married.
Good. Well, I know that. And I know the other things.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, during her second year of high school, Bonnie became involved with classmate Roy Thornton. What do you feel about the name Roy?
I don't like the name Roy.
It's a weird name.
Yeah.
No offense.
Also, Roy is the bad guy in Office. So.
Oh, we don't like Roy at all. Fair enough. Fair enough, we don't. Are you start trying to slowly creep out of the frame again? Like
No,
you do
I'm not
every
pushing,
video?
I'm literally just...
Every video Kat and I ever do, she's always creeping out to that side of the screen. Every single time. Maybe you need to literally just...
Apparently I'm really heavy.
You're lighter than me. Why is it that I'm not... Now I just licked my thumb and made it really awkward. You know what? Enjoy my cat. This is Cat and this is Cat. Oh, he's gone. He said I'm done. All right, anyway. So, during her second year of high school, Bonnie became involved with classmate Roy, and in September of 1926, just days before her 16th birthday, they were married.
Wait, what? Holy shit, I didn't know that!
She became involved with classmate Roy in her second year of high school, and in September 1926, just days before her 16th birthday, they were married.
Wow.
Yeah, and Bonnie got a tattoo of their names on her right thigh to celebrate their romance. Literally, Roy and Bonnie.
Cute.
Their marriage proved to be a tumultuous one, however, with Thornton proving to be physically abusive. And at 16, Bonnie dropped out of school and took a job at Marco's Cafe to support herself, since she could not count on Roy.
Good old Roy.
Good old Roy. The union soon fell apart, though the couple never divorced. In 1929, Thornton was sentenced to a 5-year prison sentence for robbery, and Bonnie moved in with her grandmother. She and Thornton never saw each other again. Despite their rocky marriage and physical separation, just after 3 years together, Bonnie wore her wedding ring and officially remained Mrs. Thornton until she died in May 1934.
I did not know that.
Don't know if it's true, but that's what I found out.
Okay.
It is believed that Bonnie Parker met Clyde Barrow in West Dallas, Texas in January 1930 while she was staying at a girlfriend's home to help out after the girl had broken her arm in an accident. Apparently, Clyde Barrow dropped by his friend's home. The friend may have been Clyde's sister. When Bonnie was in the kitchen making hot chocolate. According to this source, it was love at first sight, at least for the young, unemployed Bonnie Parker.
Why she gotta be unemployed?
Yeah, she wasn't, I don't know, well, maybe she was unemployed at the time.
It was funny how they mentioned it. The unemployed girl managed to fall in love.
Yeah, I don't know why they had mentioned that.
Yeah.
With her husband serving time, there was nothing to stop the young lovers from being together, which, I mean, the fact that you still have a husband would be something stopping you from being together with somebody.
You'd think. But if he's in prison for being abusive, the fact that he's in prison, he was abusive, I probably wouldn't give a shit either.
I mean, true, but at the same time, get a divorce. I guess I don't know how it was back then. It could have been harder.
Much harder. Even in the 1960s, it was kind of difficult.
Yeah. There was nothing to stop the young lovers from being together except Clyde's own petty crimes that led to his being sent to jail shortly after they met. Bonnie reportedly helped smuggle a gun into the prison that he used to escape. Clyde was caught and then rearrested. When he was finally released 2 years later, Bonnie decided to join him in a life of crime. This is where Kat is going to go into her part. Because did we mention we're doing Bonnie and Clyde?
Yes.
Did we? Actually?
Just now?
No.
Earlier?
At the top.
Yes.
Why do I feel like we didn't? Basically, I took Bonnie, she took Clyde, and then,
Okay.
So you're going to give us the early life of Clyde, and then you're going to go into the crimes.
And then you'll go into the after?
Yes.
Okay. So, I did Clyde. His full name is Clyde Chestnut Barrow.
Chestnut?
Chestnut.
That's an interesting middle name.
Chestnut. I'm going to name my kid Chestnut. Chestnut.
D's nuts. That's a dead meme.
Anyways.
Anywho.
Clyde Chestnut Barrow was born on March 24th, 1909, and if I wanted to say that word like a Texas
Can you
person,
read
I
it
would
if
say
it's
that.
over here?
Yes. No. I'm going to strain my eyes. I'm going to get dizzy.
You can't read this?
I can, but like I'm just going to struggle.
Is that better?
You're better over there.
Is this better?
You're still better over there, because then I don't have to... I mean, I guess, but also this is going to be in the way.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, shit.
How's
Okay.
that? Too big?
Just a little smaller. There you go. Okay, so he was born in Taliso? Did I say Taliso?
Teleco?
Teleco. Oh, that could be it.
It sounds like a gas station.
Fuck it, it's a gas station. In Tellico, Texas, he was a fifth of 7 children of Henry Basil. I'm seeing a trend here. Yeah. Okay, so Henry Basil Barrow, 1874 to 1957.
Basil Barrow. I don't know why, it just sounds like it's like their take on wheelbarrow. Like, do you think he has a brother with middle name Wheel?
No, he doesn't. I looked into that. He doesn't.
Damn. Missed opportunity.
And Cumie, which just sounds like cumin.
They like
Cumie-
food.
Cumie Talitha Walker, 1874 to 1942. The family migrated piecemeal to Dallas in the early 1920s. Don't know.
Okay.
They were part of the migration pattern from rural areas into the city where, like the Barrows, many settled in the urban slum known as the West Dallas. The Barrows spent their first months in West Dallas living under their wagon. When Father Henry had put together enough money to buy a tent, it was a significant improvement for the family. I'd imagine. Clyde, who was a small, unassuming boy, attended school until the age of 16 and had ambitions of being a musician, learning to play both the guitar and saxophone. However, under the influence of his older brother Buck...
Hang on. We've got a buck, which is a male deer, and then we've got a Clyde, which is basically a Clydesdale.
Chestnut, walnut, who knows? I didn't find out his middle name.
Alright, Buck.
Bucky. Clyde soon turned to the life of crime, beginning with a petty thievery, then graduating to stealing cards.
Oh.
Clyde soon escalated his activities to armed robbery. Clyde was first arrested at the age of 17 in late 1926 after running when police confronted him over a rental car he had failed to return on time, which...
Wait, that's... Okay.
I didn't know was a thing back then, so...
He didn't get caught for stealing, but he got caught because he didn't return a car
Yep.
that he lawfully obtained.
I just didn't return it.
Okay.
So
far we're looking great.
There we go. So, his second arrest with brother Buck came soon after, this time for possession of stolen goods, which was turkeys.
Really? Live?
Live turkeys.
How do they manage that? I thought turkeys were supposed to be really mean.
Yeah, they're vicious little birdies, so I have no idea.
They don't take nothing.
And despite having a legitimate job during the period of 1927 to 1929, he also cracked safes, robbed stores, and stole cars.
Huh.
Like a whole fucking paragraph disappeared. Alright, whatever.
Do you remember what it was about?
It was just how they met. And it was like a budding romance.
Well, I mentioned how they might have
Yeah.
met.
Yeah, go on.
Where are we?
No.
Oh, too far.
Yep.
Too far. When Clyde was serving his
Yep.
sentence.
So, anyways, he went to jail for his robberies, as Karen also mentioned, but before he went to jail, he had met Bonnie, yada. So, here we are. While Clyde was serving his sentence, he and Bonnie began a passionate correspondence with each other, and once again, Clyde's thoughts turned to escape. He did escape the first time he went to jail. God, what happened to that entire paragraph? What the fuck? Anyways. Hoping to be relieved of his grueling work, detailed and paroled, Clyde had his big toe and part of another toe cut off on an accident. As a result, he would walk with a permanent limp, and he'd be forced to drive in his socks.
His socks.
I don't know how that corresponds with each other. Unbeknownst to Clyde, his desperate scheme was unnecessary because his mother had already convinced the judge that in his case to grant him parole, so he was released 2 weeks later, in February 1932. After his release from prison, Clyde was reunited with Bonnie and made a brief effort to go straight, working at a Dallas glass company. But when police harassment caused him to lose his job, Clyde gave up and formed a gang and resumed his criminal activities, with Bonnie eventually joining him. In the months that followed, Clyde and a changing gang committed a series of robberies at various small businesses and banks. Clyde killed a police officer and a store owner during his group's crime spree, and thus became a highly wanted man with a price on his head. Deciding to maintain a low profile in the spring of 1933, Clyde and Bonnie, along with a gang member W.D. Jones, lived briefly with Clyde's brother Buck and his wife Blanche. Blanche
and
Good old
Buck.
Blanche and Buck.
In Joplin, Missouri.
The Spanish moss.
Remember the Alamo.
If you're from the South, I'm not even sorry anymore.
Yeah, at this point, we don't.
I have rights.
Rights. I'm a woman.
I have rights.
This is 2019. I got rights. Not my Fabergé egg.
Oh my god. She commanded a duel.
She commanded a duel. Okay. So Buck and his wife Blanche
In Missouri,
in Missouri, Joplin, Missouri.
they let Clyde and what's her fucking name?
Clyde and W.D. Jones.
They let Bonnie and Clyde and W.
Clyde and Bonnie, along with gang member W.D. Jones, lived briefly with Clyde's brother Buck and his wife Blanche in
Missouri.
Joplin, Missouri.
In the hot South.
In the hot, sunny South
But-
with their sweet tea.
But them damn nosy neighbors figured it out.
Ah, damn.
Goddamn neighbors.
Goddamn neighbors being so damn nosy. Gotta keep business to themselves. I'm done.
They grew suspicious and there was a shootout.
Oh,
Oh, shoot.
someone grab my rifle.
Darn tootin'.
Gosh darn it. If Connor was here, we'd hear a door open from somewhere.
Someone making fun of me.
Are we talking about Texas? No, we're talking about Missouri.
And he'd be like, oh, well, that's a shithole.
Isn't
That's not
Missouri,
Texas.
isn't Missouri technically in the Midwest?
Yeah. Oh, shit, it is.
Is it?
I was thinking, what the fuck are we doing? Talking like we're in fucking Georgia or Mississippi
I've
or
just
some
always
shit.
heard people say Missouri.
Missouri. There's been a murder in Missouri.
There's been a murder in Missouri. Okay, I'm done. Maybe.
Probably not.
Maybe not. Just keep going. We'll see what happens.
Missouri got a southern accent. Just like, oh my god, now you think about it, it's like 2 states below us.
Yes. Listen, I don't know geography, and I just remembered that.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Might as well make a U-turn. New York. New Orleans. That's not a U-turn.
I'm gonna get cramp.
Woo! Alright.
It's wildly inaccurate.
That's wildly inaccurate.
Okay.
So our little Missouri is definitely inaccurate.
Which is my fault. I started that.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll keep saying in Joplin, Missouri. With Buck and Blanche.
Logan Blanche.
It just sounds right.
It does. It does.
It fits.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 4 outlaw. Okay, so the neighbors grew suspicious, as I said previously.
As I said previous to the point.
Yep. Police arrived to the house and a shootout ensued.
A goddamn shootout.
With the rifles.
Gotta look out for those rifle bullets. What are they called?
bullets.
Casings. I don't know.
God.
Whatever. I don't know guns. I'm from Minnesota. Okay.
The 4 outlaws escaped, but they left behind 2 dead officers as well as a roll of film containing pictures that Bonnie and Clyde had taken together. The pictures were published in newspapers around the country alongside the details of their exploits. Okay. As their crime spree had continued, Clyde, Bonnie, Buck, and Blanche and Jones were all constantly pursued by law enforcement. In July 1933, police officers found them in Plate City, Missouri, and another shootout ensued, during which Buck was seriously wounded.
Not Buck.
Oh, Buck.
Oh, good old Buck. What happened?
When police caught up to them again several days later, Bonnie and Clyde escaped with Jones, but Buck and Blanche were surrendered.
Oh, Buck and Blanche.
They surrendered.
They're back in Joplin, Missouri.
And he died.
Who? Oh, Buck.
His brother.
Not Buck.
Blanche was left to be a widow.
Poor Blanche.
Poor Blanche.
She never saw it coming.
Not many people do. I'm gonna be a widow at the age of 35. Anyways. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Jones, after separating from Bonnie and Clyde, would be captured by authorities in November. The little pussy. Anyway.
I'm laughing so much that my mascara's getting my contact. I'm sorry.
In January 1934, Clyde helped orchestrate an East Ham jailbreak for a former accomplice. A prison guard was killed in the process, with Clyde escaping with his friend and several other inmates.
Wow.
Among the escapees was a convict named Henry
Methvin.
Meth.
He does meth in his vein.
Why'd you just give it like a German accent? He does meth in his vein.
He does meth in his vein. I don't know.
See what I said?
Do you see what I said before? Random accents come out. We've been doing fucking Southern this whole time, and all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? We're gonna mix it up. Let's go to Germany.
You're the fucking German. Okay.
Hello, Henry. Henry Methvin. Okay.
Who soon became part of the Barrow Gang, with a posse that included a former Texas Ranger captain. Go back up.
What?
Part of the Barrow Gang, period, with a posse that included former Texas Ranger. Captain Frank Hammer in pursuit. Okay, because I was like, he did not join that gang. That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Just keep reading, Kat.
I'm with you. You lost me for a second.
Yeah, I was like...
I thought you were saying he joined them.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
that's not how that worked at all.
You said former ranger, and I was like, oh, he's just like, fuck it.
He was like, yo, I'm done.
Screw all these people. I'm joining them. I like what they stand for.
All right.
Fuck all y'all. They know what's going on. Let's go.
Rob Banks.
It's the shit. They're getting all this publicity. And I'm getting none of it. We'll talk about that later. Yeah. That actually keys into something, but anyway.
Methvin and Clyde killed 2 highway patrolmen on April 1st.
Oh, April Fools. Just kidding, guys.
Finger guns.
It was a joke. You can get up now.
Guys, it wasn't even a real gun. What do you mean it's a real gun? This has oh, God.
It wasn't a real gun. You're being dramatic. It was a real gun.
Methvin, what the fuck?
Sorry. German over here was crazy.
Fucking Hitler.
We're not there yet.
1934 is like...
It's the predecessor.
He's coming up.
It's happening. That's the start.
That's the start.
Henri. Well, that's French. Where am I going?
Do you need to sit somewhere?
You know, I had 2 yerba mates, which is a total of 4 cups of espresso.
Yep.
I'm feeling it now.
Yeah.
I was worried I was going to be, like, not having it. I was like, I'm still tired. Here I am.
Yeah. The text message she sent me was all one-worded, so I was like, oh, she's sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, what he said. What is he?
I think he's chattering.
Okay. Anyways, with this fucking story. So...
I'm gonna sit here and listen.
No, I'm not farting. The chair is literally just doing that sound. Anyways. So on April 1st, he killed some peeps in the area of Grapevine, Texas, which I think I've been to. With Methvin killing a constable just days later in Commerce, Oklahoma. These murders set into motion the events that will lead to Bonnie and Clyde's demise.
Okay, are you the godfather now? To Bonnie and Clyde's
Clyde's
demise. How
Before
dare
my
you?
daughter's wedding.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's
Daughter's
wedding. Okay.
Bonnie and Clyde eventually sought refuge at Methvin's family farm in Benville Parish, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Now we're in the South.
Now we're in the South. Too bad Buck's not around. I don't. His name is fun to say.
Because it's so Southern.
It just sounds so Southern.
My boy Buck. Anyway.
Buck and Blanche. What a great couple name.
It is, right?
It's iconic.
Alright.
Buck and
I'm gonna,
Blanche.
change my name just for my wedding. Just like, my name is now Blanche Devereaux. I hope everybody understood that reference.
I'm here for that reference. I'm there.
You looked at me with like partial lips open and everything, like. Yeah.
Good one.
Good.
Good one.
But when Hamer and his posse, I don't like that word.
It's so close to a different word I
Yeah.
don't like.
So when Hamer and his pussy learned.
You know when someone says that, that doesn't mean you need to say it because the audience is supposed to understand.
Yeah, but you have to hear it out loud. So when Hamer and his posses learned of their whereabouts, Methvin's father betrayed the famous outlaws in exchange for amnesty for his son. On May 23rd, 1934, Bonnie and Clyde were driving down a Louisiana back road.
You said that wrong.
What?
They were driving down a Louisiana back road.
When they saw Methvin's father standing by the broken down truck. Unbeknownst to them, which is a very hard word to say with a southern accent. Unbeknownst to them,
There you go. You nailed that.
a posse of officers led by Hamer were lying in the wait. They were in the ditch.
They were waiting.
They were in the brush, waiting. And that hot humidity. Louisiana sucks. Anyway. Guns blazing.
Guns a-blazing. They were ready to go.
Bonnie and Clyde stopped to help him, and the police opened fire. And there was a hail of bullets.
They were killed.
And Bonnie and Clyde died almost immediately.
That's it.
Clyde taking the first bullet.
Did he really take the first bullet?
Yes, ma'am.
That sucks.
It does. So they're probably going to die regardless because the driver of the car was now dead. Granted, they were not moving.
So how old was he?
How old is Clyde?
Yeah, like,
He
do they have a
died?
significant age difference?
He was born in 1909. She was born in 1910.
Oh. 1910. Oh, I guess you're right.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I kind of sound... For some reason, my brain was, like, thinking differently. Anyway.
Nope.
So I'm going to get into the reason why a lot of people worshipped them,
Yes.
as you might say. It was early 1932 in the middle of the Great Depression when bank robbers were akin to folk heroes. To many poor Americans who were out of work and depending on bread lines, and while bank foreclosures of family farms created headlines. To the public, as I said, they were mainly folk heroes. Mainly it was because of Bonnie, because never had America known a woman to be involved in such brutal crimes. Which is why I would think you didn't mention how many people went to each of their funerals.
Oh, do you want me to?
Go ahead. How many went to Bonnie's?
20,000 people.
And then
Went
how
to
many went to...
Clyde's.
No.
I mean, went to Bonnie's. Yes.
And then how many went to Clyde's?
15,000.
So I'm thinking that might be why.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bonnie was like... You know? She was more crazy, I guess.
Now, think about this. Like, they died, what did I say? May. Okay, so it's May in the South. Regardless of what state, Louisiana, Texas, it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 to 20,000 people are showing up for one fucking dude or chick.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like a video of them like literally standing in line to see them. 15,000 people.
Yeah. And you mentioned that...
That's like 1/3 of the
Well,
state
you should
fair.
talk about, before I keep going, you should talk about the car.
Oh, yes.
And, like, what happened during the crime scene.
Okay, so, the woman that was in charge of hiring Hamer said that she wanted video or photograph evidence that they were actually dead of like what happened. And so there was someone there with a camera, and he was actually a friend of Bonnie and Clyde's growing up, which was not mentioned in the thing, but it's mentioned in the movie that he was a friend of Bonnie and Clyde's, and they brought him along because they said, we need you to identify them before we go shooting, people. So he came with, he said, yep, that's them. And so he started, he took photographs of the aftermath. And so the car is literally covered in bullet holes. I mean, all the way through and through. And so I don't know why they decided to do this. Maybe it was just like they didn't do what they do now. But they did not take Bonnie and Clyde out of the vehicle.
Which doesn't make any sense.
They left them there in the hot heat.
I would guess maybe it's because they wanted the crime scene to remain intact. But
well, even back then, when like they would find dead cops, like there was people standing in the crime scene.
Yeah.
So like, really holding a crime scene down didn't exist that much, or at least not that well. So anyways, they kept them in the car in the heat for hours, and then they towed the car with the bodies in the car.
And like, if you look at the pictures, the car doesn't have windows anymore.
No, they are pretty much gone.
Yeah.
And so the windows are wide open, and they start rolling through town, and people immediately recognize the car, recognize the fact there was bullet holes, and so people completely surrounded the car.
A huge crowd.
Huge crowd, like probably a couple hundred people showed up, surrounded the car, and started like bashing their way through to get into the car. And there were cops trying to surround the car to keep people from doing it, but like the word is that Clyde's watch was stolen off of his wrist. Pieces of hair were ripped out of her head, et cetera, et cetera. People were literally just trying to get their shit off of them and get like, or at least touch them, and it was very.
I don't know if we have a picture of it, but like no,
there's. I think.
Well, I mean, there's like they're dead, like 100% dead.
Yep, like rotting literally because they've been sitting in a car for a while.
Thousands of bullet wounds, and there's a picture where you can literally see a guy like putting his head all the way into the window to look at Bonnie inside the window.
Yeah,
like he like up to his shoulder in the window, and it's just like, dude, you're gonna get a disease.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I wonder if I can... But yeah, it's a very...
I'll probably show things on the screen, but yeah, so there's that. Anyway, the American people saw Bonnie and Clyde as Robin Hood figures who were fighting back against a capitalist system that they believed had been broken by corruption and greed of big businesses and government officials. During the Great Depression, people who robbed banks were often considered heroes, particularly in rural areas where many people had been forced into bankruptcy, and the public was definitely prone to loving anyone that stood up against the institution that they believed was so against them. The American public followed the Barrow Gang's exploits through the newspapers and were fascinated by these gangsters in love during a time when lawbreakers were predominantly male.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Towards the end, public opinion of the pair began to sour, especially with cries for justice from the families of their victims. Newspapers, themselves trying to survive during the Great Depression, figured out that readers were tired of stories about the miserable economy, and the readers wanted diversion in the terms of like sports heroes, movie stars, and gangsters. So like people like Babe Ruth or Bette Davis and John Dillinger. But
also a really great story is John Dillinger.
And that was Timon. He agrees. But nothing was as engaging as Bonnie and Clyde. They were glamorized because of the Bonnie element. Lovers on the run of society just really attracted the public. Bonnie and Clyde and their Barrow Gang seemed to know it too. After the shootout that was in Joplin, Missouri, police discovered that the murdering bandits conveniently left a camera behind. Oh. So that was left behind on purpose. Where was I? Okay. They left the camera behind at the scene, and this was Bonnie's path into America's living rooms. Same difference. In one snapshot, she held a grinning Clyde Barrow at mock gunpoint. In another, she propped one foot on the fender of a V8 sedan, a very unladylike posture, and then compounded the shock value by waving a handgun that she also brandished or wore in several other pictures. There was even a photo of Bonnie with a cigar hanging from her mouth. The photos were given to a local newspaper and used for a wanted poster, and once they hit the wire services, the pre-internet in many ways, newspapers across the country printed them, as did true crime magazines. They wanted to cram as many Barrow Gang stories into their publications as possible before the cops inevitably caught the kids and ruined a good storyline. Gotta think of the business.
Yeah.
The legend of Bonnie and Clyde grew and grew. They became so large in the country's imagination that the fans who showed up in Arcadia to literally get a piece of them were stunned by what they saw and later learned about them in the newspapers. Bonnie, for one thing, wasn't tall and glamorous like a Hollywood starlet. As for Clyde, one onlooker, disappointed by Clyde's scrawny frame, announced he was nothing but a little bitty fart. They had big guns, but they were nothing but tough. Okay, they had big guns, but they were anything but tough. They both limped badly. Bonnie's leg had been injured in a car wreck, and Clyde, while in prison for earlier crimes, chopped off his toes, as we know. Still, America wasn't done with them. More than 10,000 people... Oh, well, that's wrong. More than 10,000 people is what I had, but...
Well, I mean, technically it was more than 10,000.
Yeah. Showed up to their funerals, and then a seemingly unbelievable chain of events transpired. The stolen V8 Ford that Bonnie and Clyde were killed in, dubbed the death car in the media, was returned to the Kansas woman who owned it.
Oh.
She drove it to Topeka, bullet holes and all, then rented it to a showman known as the Crime Doctor, who took the car on tour around the country. At an event in Texas, the two Texas Rangers who hunted down the killers, Frank Hamer and Manny Galt, showed up and hopped on stage, and Hammer slapped the Crime Doctor in the face. Yeah. Like the legend of Bonnie and Clyde, the car has survived as a grotesque symbol of fame. Today, anyone can go see it. The car is displayed in the lobby of Whiskey Pete's Hotel and Casino in Primm, Nevada, or just search on Instagram for the death car. There are plenty of photos. And that's what I got.
Yeah, so Hamer was a Texas Ranger beforehand, and then he retired. And then when he came back onto it, like, people try to see him as, like, this big hero who took down Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
And, like, shortly after he came into town after the killing of them, someone was like, someone's willing to give you, like, $1,000, which was huge back then, if you get interviewed right now. And he just walked away. He was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, he didn't want to be involved in killing kids, but at the same time, like, while trying to find them, I think it was like 4 officers had died, and, you know, all this, so he kind of knew, like, this is it. And when he pulled them, or he didn't pull them over, but when he set the trap, he, like, wanted them to freeze and be like, just get out of the fucking car and go to jail. But everyone warned him that it was Clyde who was not going to go down without a fight. Bonnie, we don't really know, but Clyde was like, I'm not going back to fucking jail. So even...
Excuse
can't
me.
see him.
Hey, can you not do that? You keep talking.
Okay. But yeah, he wasn't proud of what he did.
He wasn't, like...
So that would explain why he slapped that guy in the face.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that there was no, like... Stop that. There was no, like, reasoning as to why he would have slapped him in the face, but I kind of assumed it was because he was like, you're taking this and, like, showing it off. Mm-hmm. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you showing this off. This is stupid that you're, like...
Like, this isn't something that you should be worshiping.
Yeah.
Like, I killed 2 kids. Like...
Yeah.
So, yeah. You can share the photos, like, on the screen?
Yeah, I can pull them up.
Okay, well, you might want to do that, because I found this unless you want me to show it.
I mean, you can if you want, but you have to go way close to the camera.
Excuse me. Kitty, kitty. Excuse me. Kitty, kitty. Thank you.
It'll autofocus.
So, yeah. You can literally see a guy trying to get into the car.
Yeah, you can see him right there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, okay, bye.
Yeah, so, that's pretty wild.
You want to look on the drive of all the pictures I posted?
Oh, yeah, we can look. Let's look at you first.
Alright, so when they finally took everything out of the car, those are all the guns and ammunition found in that car.
Damn.
Yeah. That is W.D. James, and on the, you can't really see it, but on the hood of the car, there's a gun. It actually belongs to a dead officer. That is Hamer, Bonnie and Clyde kissing, and that was actually, I think, supposedly the day of their death.
It's actually really cute.
Yeah. That's the car. That was from one of their shootouts. One of the first ones. What is it?
Jones.
Oh, okay, so that's W when he was arrested. That's one of the wanted posters. That is him with a gun.
He doesn't look like a little bitty fart. What, did he change his middle name?
Clyde Champion Bar.
I guess he didn't like
better
Chestnut.
Better than Chestnut. Champion. He has some big old ears, though. That's apparently him from one of his first mug shots, but I also read that that's also his brother. But the ears make me think that's probably Clyde.
My grandpa had ears like that. Like ears that were like...
Elfie.
Yeah.
Stuck out.
I think they're kind of cute.
That is Clyde
wow.
and his brother's grave.
They're buried in the same plot?
Yep.
What is that noise?
That is Blanche and Buck.
Oh, Buck and Blanche.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
Buck and
them.
Blanche.
Oh, don't they look like a happy couple?
Yeah.
Buck and Blanche.
Buck and Blanche. That's that photo that you mentioned.
Oh, there it is,
In
yeah.
the mock shot. That is the car after they were shot. That is the... Oh, and the officers were actually partially deaf for a few days.
Oh, they had tinnitus? Mm-hmm. Is that what that is?
Because, I mean, those cars are metal, so I can imagine...
Oh, yeah,
bullets
that'd be
hitting
really
them
loud.
would be loud. That's them.
They look cute!
Mm-hmm. That's them again.
Okay, we're gonna have some fights.
Please don't do that near my feet.
Nala, go to bed. Go to bed. Or just ignore me. Alright, let's see. Oh, that must be the...
Yep, that's her.
I can barely see that.
Yeah,
She was bigger.
There you go.
Wow.
Hey, stop. So yeah, you can see he got like shot in the jaw and all that stuff. That's a picture, I believe. It's either at the funeral or the actual car scene. That's that
her
famous
with a
shot.
Cigarette, yeah.
Yep. Another one of her. And that
That's
picture.
the one, yeah.
Yep.
That's like great. Like, look at this guy right
Yep.
here.
Literally has his head in the vehicle.
I just like can't. Look at this. Look at this woman. She looks like she just finished making dinner.
Yeah, she just ran out of her house in an apron, like, wait up! I want some!
Let me look.
I want to
This
see
guy fucking climbing on the car.
it. Yep.
Like, what are you doing, dude? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's that.
And there has been obviously multiple stories, movies, games, everything revolves around them nowadays.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be the Bonnie and Clyde and
I mean,
or
to
like
be fair,
today's Romeo and Juliet type shit.
yeah, but I mean, like, to be fair, if you take out the crime aspect, their like romantic relationship is actually really cute. Mm-hmm. Like, if they weren't criminals and we just like idolized their relationship together, I feel like I feel like that's a better. Okay, yeah, they were criminals, but like they were at least a good couple, as opposed to people that try to like idolize the relationship of like the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Which I don't understand.
Which is...
That's literally abuse.
Yeah, like
emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
And she, what is that, like a version of Stockholm Syndrome or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Falling in love with your abuser, or, you know, whatever.
I would
but
so much rather compare my relationship
The
to Bonnie and Clyde. Because they legitimately liked each other.
Yeah.
But it still is weird to me that she wore her wedding ring and was always Mrs. Thornton, even until she died, even though she was with Clyde.
It was like an honor thing. I don't know. It was back then. We wouldn't know.
Yeah,
We're
we wouldn't know.
classy people now. Us millennials.
Millennials.
Fucking millennials.
Well, is there anything you want to add?
No. If you really want to watch, like, The Highwaymen on Netflix, it's really, really, really,
Was that
good.
a Netflix special?
Yes, it was. And it had Calvin Klein in it. Or, what's his name? Kevin Costner. Sorry. I always confuse the two.
Calvin Klein?
Yeah. The designers in the movie. No. Kevin Costner plays Hamer. Kathy Bates plays the woman who was in charge. I think she's like the Warren or something. But she's in charge of hiring him. Woody Allen? Yeah, Woody. Is he the one who plays in... Yes, I'm right. Okay, Woody Allen plays the other cop involved. You only see Bonnie and Clyde at the very end.
Really?
Like, you'll see, like, their arms or, like, their silhouettes driving, but you actually never see their faces until the very end when they're, like, because Kevin Costner comes out and he was like, put your hands up, just freeze. And then they do, like, this long shot of their faces just frozen, and then Clyde reaches for the gun, and...
Wow.
Yeah. It's the only time you see their face, and I was like, holy shit.
Well, watch that movie. It's on Netflix.
It's very, very good.
And it's a
Highly
Netflix
recommend
special, which means it won't leave.
Unlike everything else.
Unlike everything else.
But yeah, seriously, it's good. I
Anything
Kevin,
else?
I like Kevin Costner.
Who's Kevin Costner again? What else is he in?
Fucking
movies
Dancing
he's
with
in.
Wolves. Oh.
Try again.
Just Google him.
Okay. Go see Kevin Costner.
He's good.
Apparently he's good.
He's very good.
Well, if you feel like sending us an email, you can at amurderofcrowspodcast@gmail.com. Our Instagram, I'm watching you this time. Our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are all at AMOC Podcast. Our closed Facebook group is Our Murder of Crows, like yours, mine, and ours. And lastly, if you feel like being awesome and helping us monetarily on our podcasting journey, you can become a patron at patreon.com/amurderofcrowspodcast.
I have a wedding to pay for. Hey, tell the news!
Ow.
God, are you a peach?
Yeah.
Obviously. Fuck. I put no strength into that. Like, hey. You're like my mom.
I didn't say it like that. I just said, ow.
Anyways, tell them.
I got proposed to today
With a wine cup.
with a wine glass.
And a card that said I'd pee on her.
Yeah, it took me a while to read
She
the
went
card.
full 4th grader learning how to read this card.
You know?
Because the card, when you first look at it, says, I'm going to pee on you. But then you open it, and it's like this big, long sentence saying that, like, I'm going to make you hold my dress while I pee, and
Yeah.
make do errands, and blah, 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 blah. Make do errands.
I'm gonna make do some errands.
I'm going to make do errands.
I'm gonna make do some errands with Buck and Blanche in Joplin, Missouri.
God damn it, I'm already becoming a southerner.
Well,
Can't speak.
I was proposed to by Miss Janice over here.
Word.
Janice Joplin? Janice Joplin?
Why am I Janice Joplin?
Again, 4 cans.
Type in Janice Joplin, please. Fucking bitch. Janice Joplin. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh.
Am I Janice Joplin now?
You've got some great hair.
God.
I got proposed to, basically. I am the maid of honor.
The maid of honor.
The maid of honor.
Or matron of honor.
It said maid of honor on the thing.
I told you I couldn't customize it.
Oh.
I found it, I was like, I cannot not buy this.
You could have written.
On the cup?
Oh. Anyways.
I could have gotten so many cups or so many different cards that could have said matron, but I was like, I want to pee on her. I'm gonna pee on you.
Is that how we're ending
Yeah,
it?
fucking R. Kelly your ass.
Ew.
I guess that's not a very good thing to say nowadays. I'm sorry. The old R. Kelly was only peeing, but now it's now it's a whole different thing.
You need
now.
to learn to quit while you're at it.
But that's the thing, I'm always ahead, so I already crossed the line before I even, like, crawled up on it. It's like, I'm back here, and then I'm like, whee! I told my supervisor I was gonna kick her in the tit, so.
Happy Friday. It's Friday for us. You'll see this probably tomorrow, hopefully.
Yep.
If I get it up in time.
Don't worry, I did though. She said she was gonna hit me in the butt, and I was like, I'm gonna kick you in the tit.
You guys have a beautiful relationship.
Her name is Catherine, spelled the exact same way.
Do you call her Cat?
I call her Catherine, and she calls me 2.0.
It's a beautiful relationship, really.
Yep. I told her I was gonna steal her job on my first day. And I said I was Catherine 2.0, and I'm coming for your job! That's exactly how I said it. And she was like, okay. And now I have to sit next to her because I got in trouble.
You got in trouble?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I'm the joker of my fucking pod, so she doesn't want me sitting next to anybody. It's a boring job, okay? It gets dull. I move freight for a living. Come on. Not all carriers are a hoot and a holler. So I literally scream to the other side of the pod to make jokes now, so now I'm really getting in trouble. Hey, Ashton!
Anything else you want to
No,
say?
I don't want to say the joke or anything. Don't want to offend my fans. Only offend my coworkers, who actually pay me.
Your coworkers don't pay you, your boss does.
Okay, well, I offend her all the time. I can't offend the fans. They don't pay me.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Or email me.
They don't do anything.
It's cool.
I'm beginning to think they don't know what an email is.
Only Ellen does. Ellen, please post on the Facebook group how to write and send an email.
A step-by-step process?
Yeah.
Would be...
Or if you could do screenshots, like how to set up an email account. Because I know everybody has an email account because you have a fucking Facebook, and that's how you like their page. You have an email, use it! Fuck.
I mean, very good points.
We all have one. We literally can't do anything without an email.
It's just like an asshole. Everyone's got one.
That's ignorant.
How is it ignorant? Everybody has a bubble.
You never know.
Who doesn't have a
You
bubble?
never know.
How do they
Karen.
shit?
You don't know.
Well, you don't know.
Colostomy bags?
Well, not everybody has an email either, Catherine. Have you ever seen fucking the Amish people? Do they have emails?
Probs.
Where are they getting on the World Wide Web?
How to build a fireplace.
What? What?
Clear, that just went right over.
Yeah, I did.
Can you type in Amish fireplace for me, please?
I don't want to.
Just type fire. What the fuck do you think is gonna pop up?
Oh, are you talking about that Amish fireplace thing?
Yes!
I feel like they have like a middleman that does that. Like they got someone that's like doing some business. Like I'm here for the fireplace.
So they're involved with the Godfather like bullshit. I'm here for the fireplace.
I'm here for the fireplace. Yeah.
On the day of my daughter's wedding.
You come here to sell me fireplaces. I don't know what's happened anymore on this podcast.
We're falling apart.
We were
because
talking
running
about
out of
Bonnie and
ideas.
Clyde, but at this point, now it's just Amish.
And lack of buttholes and email.
Buttholes.
I wasn't gonna say that. This fucking Centipede movie, they don't have buttholes.
I mean, do they?
The last person does.
Well, but then they're kind of just one being at that point, aren't they? They might have different identities, but they're one being with one hole.
Unfortunately, yeah.
They still got a hole.
Have you seen that movie?
You know, I've seen parts of it. I don't want to keep going.
That's rough.
I remember one time I saw that one movie that was about like Wax, House of Wax or some shit.
House of Wax, yes, with fucking Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah.
And Chad Padalecki. And Paris Hilton.
Yeah, it came on at the garage. Which is really strange.
It's a very strange place to watch a movie.
I mean, a lot of strange things happen there. Anyway, so this has been about 5 to 10 minutes of us just talking nonsense.
Conversation.
You've gotten a glimpse into our daily lives, of our discussions.
We don't stay on topic for very long.
We don't.
We don't. I think the only time I've ever stayed on topic for a very long time is if Salika's involved.
Well, but she's just very level-headed. She knows where we're going,
Yep.
and she knows where to stop. That's what we don't have.
Yeah. Just keep going.
We just keep going. That's, I could keep going. I've had a lot of caffeine.
I want you to have 2 of these the day of my wedding and then write a speech and see how great you get.
You know? I think it'd be great.
She's gonna be like 2 hours later, but it's like, where's the fucking food?
You're gonna get it later, Susan. Sit down. You know what, Susan?
There's probably a Susan.
You're
in this
inviting
family.
one Susan just so I can say that.
It's coming, Susan. I'm almost done. I have 4 pages to go.
I haven't gotten into my Jim Carrey
And-
part of this yet.
And a performance. Fuck, Susan.
I have interpretive dancing. Do you know how much choreography went into this, Susan? Would you like to come in here and be the background? No? Okay. Sit down.
Sit down. It's gonna be a good wedding, guys.
It's gonna be
Ellen,
great.
you're invited.
Really? Well, maybe.
It's in Minnesota. You just have to walk a few feet and you'll be here. I'm not doing this shit in Texas. Are you kidding me?
She probably won't send you an actual invite, but
No, I won't. I won't.
you could send us a bunch of emails about it. Okay, I'm gonna close this now. Ca-Caw.
Oh, I thought I froze. But then I realized I was just holding a... I think I pulled a muscle. I pulled a muscle doing that. I didn't do anything. Ow. I literally forgot to stop smiling. How is she moving?
Excuse Kat, she was just buffering for about a second or two.
I legitimately went through my head. Holy my image from... I'm crying. This hurts. Tears. Actual fucking tears. I'm so ashamed of myself.
It's what's even funnier is that I was watching you on the screen and I could see your face. Your face. Kat! Kat, your face literally went from a straight smile for like a second and then all of a sudden like your face realizing that it went from like a to like a confused like what's happening to finally realization, oh, I'm just stupid today.
I forgot to lower my cheek muscle.
You went full on Barbie on me for like 2 seconds. You're legitimately crying. You can't see it very well.
I'm crying. Oh, God. Ugh, my confusion made me pull a muscle and everything. Enjoy. Please stop recording. I have to pee so
You gonna
bad.
give a Ca-Caw?
Ca-Caw,